Okay, family, okay, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, prince and princesses. This is your brother Anthony Brown doing a special one. Doing a special one, family. Now check this out. This is basically outside our norms. All right? But this is something that, this is an issue that we need to put some voice to. This is an issue that we need to put some voice to. We all know that, we all know, are aware of the coronavirus. All right? Now, look. Let me say from the outset, family, let me say from the outset that if we lose one life, that's one life too much for us to lose because of this or any other infectious diseases, right? However, we need to be real about what's going on. We need to be real about what's going on. One of the key reasons why I'm talking about this issue, let me make it be known, is that I've recognized that there's a lot of fear mongering going on out there. A lot of people are actually scared, and a lot of people are actually using their platform or their so-called experience or their title to actually drive the living fear into other people for whatever the reason is. Right? Now, again, mind your family, we are not saying that the coronavirus is not a serious issue. Okay, we are not saying it's not a serious issue. We are not saying it's not something you need to be mindful of or you need to be aware of. This is what we are saying. We are saying that this is nothing new. This disease, maybe this strand of disease is new, but the disease itself, mankind for far so long have been encountering such disease, and we have been dealing with it. We have encountered it, we have defeated it. Way back in history, family. Now, for some reason, this disease, this virus is blown way out of proportion. Now, before you all start blow up my goddamn page and talk crap, let me go to facts. Let me go to the stats, because that's the reason why I can make this argument that this coronavirus and what's happening right now, to the point where people are under lockdown, people are asked to quarantine themselves in their houses, businesses shut down, sporting events shut down. You know, you have to ask yourself, what's behind it away from the disease itself? Now let's go and look. And a few years ago, there was a disease known to the CDC as the swine flu, H1N1 flu, right? That was a disease that affected more people globally, killed more Americans than this present virus here today. The swine flu. The swine flu killed more Americans, and When the swine flu came out back in 2009, right? The swine flu came out killing everybody. There wasn't no restriction. It was killing young kids, elderly, middle-aged people. When the swine flu came out, the initial argument from the CDC and the World Health Body was the same argument as the coronavirus that's here today. It was the same argument. Globally, at this time, we had over 17,000 deaths worldwide. Now, family, look, this right here is your brother sharing some information, because we recognize that there's a misconception out there, and there's people out there who actually live or strive off of the fact that people are living in fear. And this is what we are saying. There is no goddamn reason for people to be living in fear here in the United States of America. There is none. There is no reason for you to be panicking. There is no reason for you to go out there and taking everything off the shelves. There is no reason for you to do that. There is no reason for people in America to be scared of this disease. Mind your family. What we are saying is you are to be mindful and aware that this disease is out there. Be mindful of it. Be mindful that there's a disease out there, and yes, people out there is dying. Now, let me show you. They call it a pandemic, right? A pandemic. Let's talk about the stats. And again, this present disease was originated in China, in the mainland of China. Today, 81,013 people is presently affected in China. Listen to the numbers, my family. Listen to the numbers. In China today, the COVID-19, that's the virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19, 81,013 people affected in China. 3,255 died in China. 3,255 died in China. 71,749 recovered from the disease. The mainstream media and a certain group of individuals out there, because they want to keep a monopoly over the whole system, and they want to continue to scare people, and they wanted to continue to steer the narrative. There is certain factual information that is not given. In the United States of America, one of the first things you need to ask yourself, family, is the population of the United States. What's the population of the United States? What's the population? The amount of people that's affected by the coronavirus in the United States of America. And look, this is public information for those who don't know. It's public information. It's live numbers that keep on updating every minute, every hour, every day. It's out there. The CDC is reporting this. The World Medical Establishment is reporting this. Here in America, 19,774 people affected. Here in America, here in the United States of America, 19,774 people affected by this virus. How many people die? Again, we love life, we respect life. One life, losing one life because of this disease, because of this virus, is one life too much. However, here in America, the amount of people who have lost their life because of the corona, according to present numbers, according to today's number, according to live number, 279 people. Listen to what your brother is saying now. This is what they are using to scare you. And that's all it is. Scare tactics. For whatever reason. During the swine flu, right? A matter of fact, the swine flu affected millions of Americans. Millions. Let's go back to, again, family, look. This is public information, man. This is public information. The swine flu affected millions of Americans, right? Thousands of Americans lost their lives, and the country wasn't in a state of panic. The country wasn't in a shutdown, right? Here today, we have, compared 279 deaths to 2,000 deaths. Look, we love our fellow human being. We love our brothers and sisters. We love life. We give God thanks for life. What we are saying is that there's a certain group of people out there, for whatever reason, they are utilizing this coronavirus, this strand of coronavirus, this COVID-19, they are utilizing it to scare the living hell out of Americans. They are utilizing it to scare the living hell out of people. For whatever reason, diseases such as this, we have encountered in the past. We have encountered disease like this in the past, and we will in the future. Here in America, family, we have 100 out of this number, 19,774 Americans who have been infected with the coronavirus. 279 lost their life. 147 who got infected with the coronavirus here in America recovered. 107 of our brothers and sisters, of our fellow Americans, of people living here in America, recovered from the virus. This virus is a respiratory virus. It affects people with weak immune system. Look, no, your brother ain't a medical doctor. I don't have any PhD in medicine. What I have is common sense. Common sense and critical thinking. That's what I use. What I have is history. That's what I have, history. When you compare the swine flu to this virus here today, the question must be asked, what's different? Or why is it that America is basically on lockdown right now? People are ordered or people are asked not to go to work. Now, let me tell you something, family. I'm living this in my household. I'm telling you, I'm sharing it. Look, I'll share things with you all because we're all family. I'm living this in my household. I'm seeing members of my immediate family actually scared and nervous and acting outside the norms because coronavirus. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit coronavirus. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of the propaganda that's been spreading for whatever reason because of this coronavirus. Facts. We have more people die here in America every single year. A matter of fact, we have more people die in America this year from the common flu than the goddamn coronavirus. It's public knowledge. But what happened is, a lot of people don't have the time or don't take the time for themselves to decipher the truth or to go there and look at the stats for themselves. They don't. And they sit back and they listen to mainstream media. And they listen to, they follow all type of tweets and all type of thing on social media. And then get themselves act real scared and paranoid over something that they need not to. They need not to be acting so scared. Let me tell you something, man. We believe in our God. We believe in God. And when it's my time, it's my time. Look, don't feel sorry for me. If the coronavirus should take my life, that's the time that I need to go. If the coronavirus should take my life, that's the time when my God is ready for me. Look, family, look. What we are saying, for some reason, they are using this coronavirus to scare the living hell out of people. Now, you have to understand the concept, that there's many different fractions or group of people who, just like how there's people out there who benefit during times of war. During times of war, you have people out there who make millions, who become millionaires and billionaires. In times like these, you have people who become millionaires and billionaires as well. And people use situations like this, right, to elevate themselves in society. Big up them status, the statue. Run for political office. get themselves, get the names in the papers and appear and TVs and you know what I mean? There is no reason. Let's look at the figures, family. The total amount of people that is affected by this coronavirus worldwide. The total amount of people who is affected by the coronavirus worldwide, 281,137 cases. That's not even, look, China population is over 1 billion people. Listen what I'm saying. Look at the numbers. The sheer numbers alone supposed to calm your ass down. In America, with over 138 million people, we only have 19,000 that's affected. Globally, 281,000. That's a drop in the goddamn bucket compared to the swine flu and many other diseases such as this, respiratory disease such as this, that happened in our past. Globally, 11,000 people, 11,594 people died because of the coronavirus. Now, a matter of fact, here is some good news, family. Here is some good news. This is what the mainstream media won't tell you. Out of this 281,139 cases worldwide, right? We have 93,746 people recovered from the coronavirus. We have more people recovering worldwide from the coronavirus than we have people dying. Total death, look, this right here, again, family, it's public record. This is, I'm giving you stats, real-time stats. Total death worldwide, 11,594. Here in America, and the continent, and in the territory of the United States, 200. Where we at? Where's the US? US, 279 persons died because of the coronavirus. Total amount of countries affected by the coronavirus, 186. Why the hell are we in a panic? Why are we in such panic? What's the reason for this, for all these scare tactics? Why? We have more people recovering from the coronavirus globally than we have died. A matter of fact, the two most affected places, one is China, where the disease originated, despite whatever argument you want to hear. This was originated in China, mainland China, right? And the second most affected place is in Europe. Italy to be specific. A matter of fact, Italy death toll now surpasses China's death toll. China have a death toll of 3,255 people. Italy have a death toll of 4,032 individuals. Now, again, how much of you heard that there is medication out there? How much of you heard that there's medication out there that people are actually, that's been out there, a matter of fact, on the market, for over 2 decades? Because again, this is a respiratory infection. We've been here before. We've been down this road before, family. In China and in Italy right now, they are utilizing this medicine, this tablet, this pill that's been in existence, right, for years. What we don't have today is a vaccine for this present strand of the virus. We don't have a vaccine for this COVID-19 coronavirus. We don't. But what we do have, and we've been have for many decades, is the pill, is the tablet. There in China, they are utilizing it in China. They are utilizing it in Italy. We are getting early reports right now. About the positiveness of this pill they're using in China and in Italy. The CDC is aware of this pill, but they don't want to tell people about this pill as yet, or they don't want to, according to them, get people hype about this pill. But this pill, they have been using this pill for over 20 years, family. It has to do with the strain, with the coronavirus. The coronavirus is a respiratory disease. A matter of fact, the swine flu, when the swine flu initially came out, the swine flu didn't care if you was young, if you was elderly, if you had pre-diagnosis, pre-health status, it didn't care. This strand of the coronavirus, so far, based on what we have been told, right, does. It wasn't until maybe a day or two ago that it started, or you start to hear about young kids, or that it may affect kids, right? But it still stands to fact that they are scaring people. For what? Globally, look at the figures. We're talking about, look, we are talking about numbers. We are talking about real numbers. We are not saying that you have to be mindful or aware that there is this disease out there. Yes, be aware of it. You need to be aware of it. Our argument is, why are we living the way we are living because of this virus? Why is there so much fear out there? Why? During the swine during the swine virus, the swine flu, we had more Americans dying. Look, family, 279, look, again, we love life, and one person dying from this disease is one person too much. However, in the grand scheme of things, 279 lives is nothing compared to 2,000 lives at the same time during the swine flu. We have over, look, again, this is public record, man. This is public knowledge. 2009 swine H1N1 flu responsible for more than over 18,000 deaths. Right? Over 18,000 deaths. Here in America, over close to 2,000 or over 2,000 people life was lost because of the swine flu. Many of people, look, a lot of Americans ain't aware of the swine flu. They weren't affected. Their daily life wasn't affected like what's happening right now. The question must be asked, if the swine flu killed more Americans than the coronavirus, why America wasn't in shutdown during that time? The question must be asked. Look, I don't care if nobody don't want to ask the goddamn question. I'm asking that question. Why? Somebody need to tell me. Why is it that my kid is out of school for 1 whole month? Why is it that my employees we are told we cannot continue our projects because the swine flu? Why it is the grocery store is closed? Why it is that goddamn America is in lockdown? Why? Because we have 279 people die in America? Yeah? We have more people die this year already because of the common flu than the COVID-19. It's public information. Not only the CDC is carrying it. Go pull up the goddamn CDC for those of you who don't know. Pull up the CDC record. Pull up the Washington Post for those of you who believe in the Washington Post and the New York Times. What's the difference? Globally, family, globally, you talk about a pandemic. You talk about a pandemic. The total numbers globally, total amount of people affected, 281,157 individuals. Total amount of people. Total amount of people. Now, this number, they are telling us that once we start the vaccine, or once we start to test more people in America, this number gonna go up. Bullshit! Globally, the amount of people die thus far from the coronavirus is 11,594. Listen to what I'm saying carefully, family. Listen to what I'm saying carefully. Don't believe the hype. Yes, be mindful of the disease. Personal hygiene. Wash your hands when you're sneezing. Cover your mouth, cover your nose. Yes, all of that, continue to do it. globally, with 186 territories, 186 sovereign countries affected. These are the numbers. 11,594 deaths. Mainstream media keep on beating down that number. What they are not saying to you is that we have more people recovering from the coronavirus than actually dying from the coronavirus. They are not telling you that in China and in Italy, where it's most effective, where the virus is concentrated more and affecting more people, there is a drug that's been on the market for over 2 decades that these people are using and that these people are getting better from. They don't want you to know that. Yes, the CDC is skeptical. The CDC is aware of this drug. But look, for those of you who have been listening to your brother for quite some time, look, I told you about those, you talk about those institutionalized buffoons, those people with them credentials, and if a situation or a scenario come about that they have to act outside their credentials or their academic knowledge, they can. Now, look, we understand that there's certain procedure they have to follow. Yes, the CDC have to follow certain procedure before they can actually, put or give the green light to certain medication. Because what it is, this medication is out there helping people already in China, in Italy. We have, again, listen family, we have 93,753 people recover from the virus, right? This number a few days ago was much lower, was in the 50,000 bracket. Once they started to use the drug, that number spiked. Listen to what I'm saying carefully. The number spiked because they started to use the drug. Now, the CDC recognized that the drug is out there. However, the CDC is reluctant to give it any fame because they are saying, hey, look, we didn't or we don't at this point have the chance to do our tests, our standardized tests. And the other issue is that the drugs that's out there right now, that's curing people in China and in Italy, was designed for another strand of the coronavirus. Again, all these viruses are respiratory related, right? So they are saying that they don't want to say okay to Americans and or give the green light to use this drug because it was labeled or it was branded, it was titled for another disease, not the COVID-19. So they would have to take that drug, get X amount of individuals, run the tests, see that that drug cure these individuals, then they could label that drug as COVID-19 drug. You feel what I'm talking about? So they are in their academical BS. Let me tell you something, family. Let me tell you something. I did over 7 years in the armed forces, right? And in the army, they teach you certain things. And they, for all, practical purposes, there's a reason why you are taught certain things. But in the real world, in the real life, when you are out there on the battlefield, or when you are out there in split second moment, when things happen out there, number one, let me tell you something. Believe me when I tell you, the first time you hear a round or a shot or a bullet sing past your guardian ears that you didn't fire, let me tell you something, you freeze. It's like it put in a whole total different space. What am I saying? When people's life is on the line, certain training or certain things you have to overlook or through the door. For example, when somebody gets a wound or a gunshot wound, right? There's a certain way the teacher in the goddamn classroom, how you clean the wound, right? And how you bandage it, right? And if there's some type of debris, like let's say a stake go to the person and or you stabilize the arm, you try to stop the bleeding, and you set a procedure. Out there in the real world, when it happened, you ain't that calm, cool, and collective. You don't think like that shit. Yes, but your thing is, the situation under which you're gonna offer first aid to that person gonna be totally different than the situation you got in the classroom from a practical standpoint. So you're going to do whatever it is you can do out there in the field to save either your life or somebody else's life. You see what I'm talking about? This virus, we know that there is pills out there. A matter of fact, it's two types of pills out there. And look, we're not knocking the CDC. We're not saying that the CDC, we're not knocking them. We're not knocking them because, again, in all fairness, they acknowledge it and they give us their professional opinion, which is okay. But what we are saying is that the two worst affected places, China and Italy, is actually using this drug, and people are getting better. We need to stop scaring Americans. Let Americans know that there is the drug out there, right? And that they can get that goddamn drug. We need to let Americans know that we have more people recovering from the virus than people dying from the virus. Look, I got close friends, family, and that's what I'm saying. I got close friends who lost their life because of this virus. Within my own house, we know people that's close to us who lost their lives. However, that's still no reason for this mass hysteria, right? There's none. There's no reason for Americans to live to be living their life in so much fear. There's no reason for Americans to be living their life in so much fear. Kids to be home from school, people out of work. You can't go about. No, there's no reason for that. Tell me, show me. The swine flu was much, much worse than this crap right here. And nobody. Listen to this, family. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
In the spring of 2009, public health officials were alerted to an unusual outbreak of influenza.
Tuesday, we reported that we had confirmed 2 cases of influenza that were swine flu in children in California.
On April 23, 2009, the CDC announced that this strain of influenza had not been seen before in the U.S. or anywhere in the world.
Okay, you heard that? The swine flu. The CDC, when it came out, the CDC stated that they never said this is something brand new. They never see anything like this before. The same argument we have with this coronavirus, this COVID-19, the same argument. You guys heard that? Oh, I hope you guys heard that now. I'm playing this in real time. Not only that, when this virus came out, when the swine flu came out, it affected kids. It affected kids, teenagers, adults, old people. It didn't matter whether or not you had a weakened immune system. It affected you all. Listen some more.
It was a new strain of flu.
Today, Mexico's Minister of Health confirmed that they have cases of swine influenza in people, and that they believe some of the people who were infected died from swine influenza.
The world was confronted with a new flu virus to which it appeared no one had immunity. The potential existed for a severe pandemic. The public health community responded.
Last night, I arrived in Washington and immediately after my swearing in met with officials from the White House to discuss the national response to the flu outbreak.
Yesterday, we announced the release of material from our strategic national stockpile.
Currently, the FDA and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are developing virus reference strains. HHS and the Food and Drug Administration will monitor the manufacturing of a potential vaccine and conduct strict oversight to ensure that the vaccine is safe and effective for use. As the vaccine manufacturing is underway, the NIH will also conduct clinical trials to make sure that the best dosage and formulation of the vaccine is available.
Okay, you heard that? Now, family, this is another part of this whole coronavirus. Look, this is the first time I'm speaking out about this, and this is going to be the first and last time, because the truth about it, I recognize certain things. We as individuals, we as Americans, we have certain things that's close and dear to us, right? But one of the main attributes is we're all human beings. First and foremost, we're all human beings before anything else. We are human beings before we decide to join any political party. We are human beings before we decide to worship any or be associated with any religious affiliation. We are human beings, right? And as human beings, we're supposed to have a certain amount of love, a certain amount of compassion, a certain amount of understanding, a certain amount of love for our brothers and sisters. More so in times like these. In times like these, we need not talk politics. In times like these, we need not point fingers. In times like these, as human beings, we need to come together, right? We need to show compassion, and we need to do our best to accommodate our fellow brothers and sisters. This is not the time for us to be talking politics, for us to be playing politics, and for us to be deceiving other people. And that's what really gets to me. And it gets to me because there's certain people out there among us who have certain knowledge of certain things, or who is fully aware of the bigger picture. And for some sinister reason, they are not sharing that information. They are withholding that information. They are lying to people, and they are scaring people. And that's not cool. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's not nice. The vaccine for this disease, the best of them cannot get this out there on the market less than a year. It ain't gonna happen, family. It ain't gonna happen. So when they start to push the argument that why we don't have a vaccine as yet, this epidemic started in December of 2019. We now know that. December of 2019. China recognized and knew that they had this virus, and they hold it to themselves. They keep it to themselves. They didn't inform the world about it. They didn't inform America about it. It was in January, the late part of January, that the American government was aware of this coronavirus, and a stop order or a no-flight order was imposed on China. Let's not count January. We're talking about December, January, February. We are in March right now, right? How could you come up with a vaccine in less than goddamn 3 months? It ain't gonna happen. So those so-called professionals out there, mainstream media, who's talking about why there ain't a vaccine produced already. They are creating hysteria, they are creating havoc, they are creating animosity, they are creating, they are not doing right by the fellow Americans. The vaccine itself, family, ain't gonna be on the market. Look, a vaccine, what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to do some clinical trials to figure out the vaccine before they can even start to produce a vaccine. Again, this is a respiratory disease. They're talking about the mask, putting all politics aside, China, not America, is where they go to manufacture those masks. We have to go and make deals and buy masks from China. Now the American government recognize that we need to bring back all those manufacturing companies right here in America. They was here before, but because of cheap labor, these American companies pick up states and go to China. Now we are living the after effect of that. Now Congress is talking about, yeah, we need to get back these companies. Now we got companies like GM and many other companies who is now saying that, look, we can go ahead and produce those respiratory masks, those masks that we need. Look, family, you burning. Look, I'm gonna play some music, man, and calm my goddamn self down, man. But look, the whole point of this is that, again, the information is out there for you all to go and check for yourself. This whole pandemic that they're talking about globally, real numbers, 284,556 death. I'm sorry, my bad. 284,566 total cases, total people. In terms of the population of the earth, in terms of the population of America, that's nothing. Deaths, total deaths globally, 11,832 people. Listen to what I'm saying? That's the amount of people that died. The amount of people that recover, 94,292 individuals. So we have 10, so that's actually 78 times the amount of people recovering from the coronavirus than the amount of people who lost their life globally. Why are we living in fear? Why the mainstream media and the establishment and certain group or certain sector of people trying to scare us when these are the numbers? In America, real number, real time, 279 individuals die. Here in New Orleans, we have more people lost their life to gun violence than the goddamn coronavirus. It's ridiculous, family. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right?